So, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed the sneaky little videos I put at the end of the last one, just to show us in fact completing off that mission. And a lovely wonderful mistake again as always. 84 science. We're getting close. We're getting very, very close. We can in fact buy the next part of that, and we're on 293,000 funds. So that's good. That's very, very good. We have here a mission for about 30,000, and it's to get 2 tourists in a suborbital spaceflight in Kerbal, which means we can literally just go straight up into the air. Suborbital. Now, do we try and take a mission to launch 4 Kerbals straight? Yeah, let's do it. Very VIP, suborbital. That one wants orbit, so we're not going to do that one. That's a suborbital, so we'll accept that. Ferry 2 tourists. Suborbital. We'll accept that. Let's go ahead and see if we can't launch some Kerbals just out of the atmosphere. Keep them nice and happy. So we need to create a vehicle that's going to be able to carry 3 Kerbals. In fact, preferably 4 Kerbals, because I don't want to do this without taking a pilot with us. We could use the probe part, but it doesn't have any SAS on it, as you can see, so I don't want to use it. So, do I have... I don't have inline cockpits. Right, okay, I've just accepted the mission that we can't complete because I'm an idiot, because we don't have the parts we need to do it. We could stack loads of them on top of each other. Oh, why didn't I just do that? Why don't I just do that? Let's just stack loads on top of each other and just launch it up into the air and see what happens, folks. It's going straight up, so we'll put some fins on it just to keep it going. Let's zoom out a little bit here, and come on. I want another one. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So for crew, Bill, get out. Look at here's our tourists. They're all in there ready to go. Valentina being our pilot, she can go in the first one, and let's get tourist number 1, tourist number 2, and tourist number 3 into the rocket. Now this is a monster. This is huge. Probably not very aerodynamically sound either, but we'll live. We'll live. So utility. Let's get some parachutes on top of this bad boy. Let's get some parachutes around this bad boy. Big style. 6 parachutes. Do we think that would be enough? We'll see. Let's play it safe, and let's put a heat shield on the bottom of all of these. And that onto there. We'll have another heat shield here. Aerodynamically is good. Well, this is Kerbal Space Program. Nobody guaranteed your safety. Nobody did. Not once. I didn't say it. I didn't say it once. I know I didn't say it once. Because it's not safe. Right, okay. So let's get that on there. Pop that up. We're not going to do any science this mission. In fact, that's a lie. I've just told you a lie, folks. I don't think we've got any temperature readings from different parts of... And so we'll put 6. Let's put 6 of them on the bottom one. Let's put them on the bottom one. 6 thermometers. Pop them on there. And we'll see if we can't take temperature readings at different stages and see if it gets us anywhere. Not going to worry about mystery goo. All we're going to worry about now is getting this up into the air. 3. Is that going to be too tall for one engine to lift? Possibly. So we know what we're going to do. Let's strap some boosters to it. We are just going straight up in the air after all. Let's get the swivel engine on there, and let's get some boosters on. Now obviously this now means that it's going to be costing us a little bit more money, but we should make about... I'm not even sure how much we should make. I don't know, we'll see. We'll have a look and see what our funds are when we start, and then we'll come back and have a look through all of these and see what we've managed to complete so far. So, on to engines. Let's be a dick about it. Let's put the massive, great big, I think they're called thumpers now. Is it thumper? Yeah, the thumper solid rocket engines. Let's get them on there. Let's strut them up, and let's see where we get to. And of course we will nipple these as well. I don't call them nipples because I like saying it. Just look, they look like nipples. They do. There's no other word for it. They look like nipples. Deal with it, folks. It is what it is. So they'll fire at the same time as that fires. They'll go. They'll separate and they'll come crashing back down to earth. Let's thrust limit these to 70. Yeah, we'll limit the thrust to 70. Just let's call this one a space touristy name. Yeah, well, there we go. Space tourist. Oh, caps lock effects. Space tourist. E. Space tourist E. There we go. That'll do. I like the name of that. Let's save that bad boy. What have we forgotten? Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Let's launch this bad boy and see if we can't complete 2 missions in one go. That is, of course, if this even works. Which it should. It should work. It should work. It should work. It might not. Could be funny. Why does it say we've only got 3? Oh, there's the 4th one there. It's Space Tourister E in 3, 2, 1, and launch! And we have liftoff. Wonderful effects there from the new way the exhausts are funneled from Kerbin. I didn't put any winglets on, which may cause us a problem. Keep your eyes on the nav ball and let's see if anything interesting happens. Valentina's in there. She's got skills. The solid rocket fuel boosters are going to die on us soon, but we are screaming up. Now it'll just be interesting to see how much speed we lose when they come off and we allow the rocket to take its own thrust. So let's stage those off, boost up to full, and we are slowing down. And I've just launched those. Let's hope they fall either side of the space center. Otherwise they're going to blow stuff up. And we've started to gain speed again. Let's hit the M key to see our apparatus. It's not very high at the moment. But we do have a bucket load of fuel left. So, yeah, let's hope this works. Let's put that on. The nav ball is holding for now. Our fuel's in a good place. Valentina doing an outstanding job. We knew she would, let's be honest, folks. We knew she would. Let's just hope we can get... I mean, yeah, there's plenty of fuel there. We should be able to get this suborbital. We shouldn't have any problems with it. Shouldn't be the operative word. Now, I forgot I've moved... Yeah, because I've changed controls. Yeah, I did. I changed the controls. Because I changed the controls for space planes, now my roll buttons are working as my... not roll, pitches up and down, yaw, roll, well, whatever, you get it. Instead of A and D now moving me left to right, Q and E moves me left to right. I'll probably change it back for when we actually get back into getting out into orbit. For now, we've just started discovering biomes and started doing some missions, and I'm just giving you the basic ideas of how to do missions. We're getting a little bit back into beginner's guide again. Yay! That's what we were supposed to be doing. Right, we're getting up. Apparatus is looking nice. We'll kill it at 77. There we go, 77. I use 77 because 7's my lucky number, not for any other reason other than that. 7 is literally my lucky number, so 77 is nice. So we'll fly out. Let's time warp out to our apparatus, and hopefully this will ding up and say we've completed 2 missions. I hope so, otherwise this has been a wasted journey. There we go! It did it! It did do it! That's happy days. That's mission completed. Yeah, everything's good there. So we'll just slow the time warp down quickly and we'll do some temperature logs on the way back down. I'm just having to move quickly because my stupid TV's trying to turn itself off. I use a TV, I don't use a monitor, a little 32 inch Sony Bravia. Cool. I love them. I absolutely love them. So, there we go. Let's eject that stage. There we go. Our space tourists, all quite happy. Pink screen of death. Bloody typical. Let's see if we can plough through it. And pink screen of death fixes itself. So let's log this temperature. Do we have a temperature from here? 8 science. We're gaining science, people, as we're falling back down. I'm going to try and do one in high atmosphere, so below that, so we're high atmosphere here. Let's log this temperature. Kerbin's upper atmosphere, 7 science, we'll take that. Let's fall down a bit, get back into this next blue bit, time warping this. Miniature effects are going to happen sooner or later. Let's try another temperature. Log temperature. Yep, upper atmosphere, we've already got that one. So let's kill that off. Let's time warp down. Travelling at a fair rate of knots here. Yep, we are seeing some atmospheric effects. Let's log the temperature here. Flying over Kerbin's grasslands. Okay, so not a massive amount, but it is science nonetheless. I got some of it a little bit wrong. We need to wait until we're about or under 400 or 300 meters a second before we release the shoots. So let's release those shoots. They'll start slowing us down nicely. Log temperature of that one. No, cancel, we've already done that one. Let's log the temperature of this one. See if that gets anywhere. Cancel, we've already done that one. Okay. What about this one? Have we done this one quick before we land? Log the temperature. There we go. Yay! Kerbal's grasslands. I think that's pretty much covered off all of those. We're going to land at 5.2 meters per second, which I do believe is quite effective. We've taken some tourists up into space. Oh, goddamn pink screen of death. I'm going to plough through it because I don't really need to control anything from here. Just keep an eye on this. Get the time warp. Let's get down. Let's hopefully land safely as well. That'd be nice. That'd be very nice. Oh, I've just seen our shadow appear. There we go. Don't fall over. Recover vessel. And boom! There we go. Yet another mission completed. So I've shown you how simple it is to take Kerbals up into a suborbital flight. It's nice and simple. I'm going to pause because the pink screen isn't going away. I shall be back momentarily to talk through all the wonderful things we've just got. And we're back again, back in exactly the same place. Just picked up we got nothing for that because it was the same place. We had 21 science in that mission. We now have 105 science, and we have a lot of messages to read because we've completed a lot of missions, which is wonderful. So we recovered 97.2% of our funds. We're at 324. Our tourists gained experience. We don't keep them. Not sure what that's all about, but there we go. So let's have a look at these missions. Ferry VIP done. The completion reward was 20 reputation. That was it. Okay. Ferry VIP, and we got 10,000 for doing so. 19, 10,000, 10,000, 3,200 for the 2 tourists. The VIP 3,200. And perform visual surveys of Kerbin. That's from an old mission. Yeah, these are all the old missions. Blah 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 blah. All done. Fantastic. Lovely. Wonderful. 324,000 and 105 science. Okay. R&D was 451, which is what we're aiming for. So let's pop back into here and see what other missions we can take and do. That's an orbit. Suborbital trajectory, I'm not really. Test a stack separator, I think that's the big one. Launch escape system, no. 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 Test the other one. Speed of 15,000, right. Right, let's just start. Ooh, science data from space around Kerbin. It's 3 science and 25,000 thingy, and it wants us to perform temperature scans on the surface, on the surface, on the surface. We are not going to do that until we've got a ladder, because I don't like the idea of not being able to take the ladder up. I don't even know where the ladder would be. Advanced flight control, what's that? Proper stabilizers, RCS. We'll get to that, we'll get to that, we'll get to that. Space exploration, ladder, and barometer, and a storage container. What's that? Collectible data, none. Returnable. And now pink screen of death, so I can't read that. That's annoying. Okay, pause again. Bloody pink screen of death. We love it. Let's pause quickly and I'll be back in a second. And so we bring you back in. We can afford that. We can afford the ladders. Not really going to touch it. There's the electrics. That's very nice for getting out to the moon with the science and a probe unit that has SAS. Here we have fuel lines, much bigger tanks, and then the larger fuel tanks that we could use for really making oil with a heavy rocketry. But we need 180 science all in for those two. Fuel lines are wonderful. We could even cover off asparagus staging. Yes, I did just say asparagus staging. I don't know why it's called that, but it is. You're not sure what it is, just YouTube it. Have a little look. I don't know if it's a cheat or not. It's still in the game, so I suppose it's not, but not so sure. Landing, much better landing legs. The launch escape system, a bigger parachute. Small landing gear that has much better brakes than the ones we were using. Landing legs and a bigger heat shield for the bigger parts. This is the flight control. That's the inline cockpit. I'm just going to buy it. We wanted this for ages, so I'm going to buy that stage, and that has opened up advanced flight control as well there for us. So we've still got 60 science. We've got some possible missions to take some tourists up and about. Are we going to do them or are we not? When does that expire? Accepted year 1, day 1. It doesn't expire. There's no deadlines on those. Well, that's good news. Orbit, surface report. We can't do the surface report. So let's take somebody into orbit and let's do that. Go into orbit. Space data from around Kerbin. And is there anything else we can do? Radial decoupler orbiting Kerbin between 80 and 97,000 at no particular speed. We're going to test the radial decoupler orbiting Kerbin as well. Okay, so let's accept that and let's go ahead and build ourselves a new vessel to get up into orbit. Now the first one we use, just get rid of that monstrosity. I am kind of sorry about that one. It served a purpose. It showed you what the parameters were for completing the mission. It was ugly as sin. What have we got that we could use? Bill's bogus journey is just a straight up. The Javelin Mark 6 was a good rocket. That got us up into orbit, didn't it? We're not going to need to take any science data because we're not going to be completing any of those missions. We're just not going to do it. So if we pop an inline cockpit there, we'll be able to take up our tourist. I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on aerodynamics. I don't know. There's only one way to find out really, isn't there? I'll tell you what else we're going to do. We're going to put that control wheel in as well. Into the commander control, the first thing we have, the inline reaction wheel. It's tiny, but it is an inline reaction wheel nonetheless. Let's put a second one on. This really helps with the stabilization of your rocket. Okay, that's what that's for. It really does have a massive effect on how that works. Why? Yeah, put that there, and then put that on top. Oh, I wonder why that didn't work. Perhaps I didn't put it in properly. But that does look rather stupid, doesn't it? So, put that back there. Let's just offset that. Let's just sink that into the graph so you can't see it. Or can't see as much of it. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Is it any different? Is that any different? No. It's no different. Oh well, not to worry. Let's just keep it as it is. It doesn't actually look all that bad. We're bringing down quite a bit more than last time. Does that have the heat shield on it? Alright, yeah it does. Okay, that's fantastic. So that's there, that's there. That'll come down like that. Let's get a couple of parachutes on the side of this one as well. Let's not cover up the cockpit though. The tourist wants to see what's going on. And we have added a bit of mass to this, but it did get into orbit quite well. Okay. So what should we call this one? Essentially it's the Javelin, but it's the Javelin Tourist. Let's call this the Javelin Orbital. The Javelin Orbital. Oh, come on, it's just a bloody name. Let's call it the Average Orbital Tourist E. Let's stick with that. We like those. The Tourist E's aren't going to be Mark 1, Mark 2, anything. They are just going to be what they are. Yeah, why not? We'll keep them as those. Who do we reckon's in that cockpit, folks? Who do we reckon? Oh, look. It's Bell and Bill. Get out. And you can get into the inline cockpit as you want to be there so badly. Let's get that saved. And let's just see if we can do this one quickly before the video gets inauditably long. In fact, I'm just going to check out on the videos quickly. Again, I know I didn't time it, bad person, I'm sorry. Let me just check. I don't want to put hour-long videos up. I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to check now. Okay, so we're back again. We definitely have enough time to do this mission. The last thing I'm going to do is add the launch stability enhancers. Just 2 of those there, just to make the launch that extra bit more secure. So we'll save that. Go ahead and launch this, and let's see if once again we can't get ourselves into an orbit. No, we'll see. I don't think I fixed the staging at all, did I? No, I didn't. Staging. Please excuse me, I am sorry. Yeah, I'm having a crafty beer. I do apologise. You should have to listen to that. So let's get the SAS on. We'll keep the thrust down to... In fact, we'll max it. We'll max thrust all the way. Let's see what this do. The Javelin Orbital Tourist E. Let's see what happens in 5, 4, 3, 2, and launch. And away we go. Very nice spread from the exhaust there as we storm off. Let's start that turn. They're off already, so we'll just jettison those off. All I've done is twist the rocket. I haven't actually adjusted our course at all because I forgot we were using different buttons for that. So let's keep that on there. Let's get that going that way. Let's start that turn. And let's use Valentina to try and stay on that prograde vector. So we'll make adjustments and Valentina will attempt to stick to the prograde. I'm going to help a little bit. I'm not really sure what that was about, but she should be trying to keep that on that prograde vector and keep us going. She should be. Let's see. Let's just see how this goes. Adjusting to the new controls is not so easy, I will be honest. Not quite as effective as I thought they might be. So not quite as effective, obviously they still work exactly the same. Me doing it this way isn't quite as effective as I thought it might be. I didn't think I'd struggle anywhere near as much as I clearly am. But we're getting there. Our turn looks okay. Okay until I did that. Right, let's power that down. Let's get you back onto that. Let's see what we can do about getting this back. We do want an orbit after all. We don't want to be messing around. Let's fire up again and see if we can't fix this. Come on Ben, you can do this fella. You can do this. You got this. You've got it. Oh, pressing wrong buttons, causing all kinds of problems. That stage done. Let's get this going. Let's leave that there. We're gonna lose control again. Yeah, burning out. All kinds of weird and wonderful problems. Wrong buttons. I should have readjusted those controls. It's desperate. We're falling back down right to revert flight, and I'm gonna just pop out and change those controls again because they're what causing me the problem there. It may be that the rocket's a little bit different. It may not be. I guess we'll wait and see. I'll pause the video here quickly and come back to it. Apologies folks, that was completely on me, that's my bad. Back in a second. Okay, so we're back in where we left off. We'll get straight back to the launch pad, do our countdown and get back off and see if we can't get this right this time. I've just readjusted the controls again, so next time I use a space plane I'm going to have to readjust them again. Let's get the SAS on. We can't because guess who's jumped into the bloody cockpit? I'm going to nut him. I swear to God. He is driving me insane. Although, It's not his fault, it's my fault. I should be the one that's checking this kind of stuff and I'm not. So yeah, there we go. All on me. We know why it's happening. Tourist back in there. There we go. Let's save that and let's launch. Okay, so same rules as last time. Full acceleration. Let's zoom out and watch the wonderful effects. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and lift off! And there we go. Wonderful exhaust effects all shooting out as they should be. Let's start that turn now. Let's jettison those off. Let's not go too far over, Ben, because that would be ridiculous. Well done. And here we go. Let's follow this prograde vector as best as we can. Oh, SES wasn't on. What a tit. Yeah, this isn't so great. This really isn't great at all. Because I didn't put the SAS on, we're not going to gain enough thing, and I'm going to be constantly fighting the aerodynamics effects. You can see where our prograde vector is trying to go, and you can see where we are actually flying. We are far too far over, and not enough. We'll just revert that. That was completely on me, entirely my fault. I do apologise. I've gone back to the vehicle assembly. I have no idea why. We just wanted to revert to launch. Let's get straight back out there and launch this. Derp! Yep, I suck. So we're still struggling a little bit with this orbital stuff, which, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. Let's just make sure we're controlling from here. Yeah, okay. Right, there's our tourist. Nice little smiley face. There's Valentina. SAS is on, and we will launch at full throttle in 3, 2, 1, and lift off. Away we go. Let's start that turn. Get it over a little bit, and let's just eject those. Now realistically I should be being a little bit more careful with those, because as I've mentioned before, they could crash down and smash into our space centre, which will cause us all kinds of problems, and we don't want that to be happening. We really don't. We're gaining speed, we're burning through our prograde vector just about, performing a half decent gravity turn. A little bit concerned we might be too far over too quickly. Just going to try and stay on the cusp of our prograde vector there, with our thrust vector, just to try and keep a bit more of that vertical velocity I was mentioning. And we can see down here the yaw control. This is the SAS using it. It's becoming more and more apparent that it needs to use it, and we need to watch out for that, because if we end up using the SAS with too much yaw control, if we get out of here, we're changing the aerodynamics effects on it to the point where we spin out, which is what we've seen a few times. So we're just going to try and hold there. Again, I will confess a little bit concerned that we're too far over too quickly, which has been one of the main problems we've had in the past with trying to get to orbit. We are quite far over, and I am just constantly pulling back on this vector just to try and maintain vertical speed straight into the next stage. Not going great. Let's switch to the map view, get that back as quickly as we can so we're not too far away from our vector. And let's see, yeah, see, we're at 20,000 and we're quite low on fuel. We're not going up high enough now. If I try and adjust vertical speed here, we might be in a thick enough part of the atmosphere where it's not going to cause us too much of a problem. So we're going to gain vertical speed here rather than altitudinal. Altitude, I'm making up words and using the wrong ones. Longitudinal. Oh, and quite typically we get a pink screen of death. I'm going to try and keep it here for now, because sometimes it reverts itself like it's just done. Oh, all of this just to try and get into an orbit. We are approaching our apparatus and we don't want to be doing that. We really don't, because if we get past our apparatus we're going to be going down and not up. And you can see here our prograde vector is our thrust. yeah, our prograde vector, the direction in which the thrust is currently travelling, is just going sideways. It's not going, I mean, look at how slow that is. This is a bad launch. I think the vehicle might be a bit too heavy. I think it might be a bit too heavy. So we may well not see an orbit here. But we are burning this way. But as you can see from that line, we're not really going up, we're going sideways. We've gained a lot of speed that way. So let's just try and push this up. Let's get the apparatus away. We're rapidly running out of fuel. This is not going to be a successful launch. I don't know why I'm even carrying on with it. We're going to stop this and we're going to start it again. We're going to go back to the vehicle assembly and possibly just put a little bit stronger boosters on. Let's just change these out for the larger solid rocket boosters and see how well they do for us. So let's have a look, see. Let's get those on there. Let's make sure that we're duplicating those. They're on nicely. Let's strut them up. Press the right button and get those on there. Now I don't think the inline reaction was actually, oh for goodness sake, that's close. Control Z again, that will get rid of that. Let's get these on nice and square this time, shall we? Angle snap to there. Very nice. There we go. That's all strutted on. So a little bit stronger, a little bit more force, just to get us off. And let's see where that gets us. So we'll save. Are we going to Mark 1 this? No, we're not. We're marked. Yeah, let's do it. This is the Mark 2. Tourist E Mark 2. It looks a bit much. Let's do it that way. Oh, who cares how it looks like? It's the game we're interested in, not the stuff you write down, Ben. So let's go ahead and get this launched. Didn't check the staging, so that could be completely off. Yeah, that happens every now and then. I'm not sure what that is. Just zoom in to fix that. Let's get those into there. I didn't thrust limit them or anything. We're at full thrust. We've got our SAS. In 3, 2, 1, and launch. And away we go. So let's just make that slight adjustment to start the turn. We'll do it very, 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 very gently. As you can see, those solid rocket boosters have stuck with us a little bit better this time. Getting a lot more speed from them. Away they go. They're off. They've collided into each other, which is interesting. I forgot to turn the game noise down again, which I apologise for. But as you can see there, they are landing off the launch pad. A little bit of an advantage to how we were doing it. I didn't actually pay any attention as to whether or not we were gaining or losing speed there, so I apologise for that. That's on me, I should have done that. We're not even slightly far away over enough yet, so we're going to want to try and bring that prograde vector way across, so we're just letting it chase us for a little bit. Aerodynamically we're not exactly sound, but as you can see it is starting to come into line. We are soaring across, so not the most efficient use of fuel, but we do have a good amount of speed, and we do have quite a good height compared to our last video. So let's just get this to chase over a bit more. Not the best gravity turn by any means, but let's get this over. We'll get this stage done, and we shall. And look at our poor tourist, not a happy bunny at all. But hey, we're rocking, we're going, we're moving. Next stage on. Let's change our map views here quickly, and let's have a look at our apparatus. At 40,000 almost already, and we're just following our prograde vector. So this should be a much more effective launch. Let's just start bringing this over a little bit more and increasing that longitudinal speed. Or maybe even be latitudinal speed when you think about it. I may have done it a bit too much. This isn't actually rising a great deal, so we're going to hang back from it a little. I may have been a bit too keen to correct our gravity turn there. We shall see. Let's maybe just increase our vertical speed a little bit while we're here. I'll take you into the map so you can see the exhaust. You can't see the exhaust because we're too high up. Okay, not to worry. But obviously our vertical speed is increasing at quite a nice rate of knots now. So let's get that back over onto our prograde vector. Let's make the most of the fuel that we've got here, and hopefully bring that up with enough fuel left to get us into orbit. Now obviously, because we're burning this way, our current trajectory is increasing towards orbit, and we are gaining altitude, which is key, and we're way ahead of our apparatus, which again is very, very important. We're not going up fast enough. Let's just adjust that accordingly. Let's get that up to the magic 77 that I like simply for luck. I perceive it to be lucky. Quite low on fuel, but we have taken up extra mass this time and we've used extra rockets, but it's been, so far, it's a success. And it is. There we go, 77. Let's get Valentina on our prograde vector. Let's wait till we get close to our apparatus and we'll start burning. And hopefully the 38 units of fuel, we might not get an orbit, folks. We might not. Benno Rules Gaming strikes again at just being shit. Now why is she struggling to keep that on the prograde? Okay, I don't like that. She's struggling to keep that on the prograde vector, so let's put that on there for her. Obviously there are still some aerodynamic effects capturing. There we go, there's the music. We are in space. We'll slow down about now. We'll switch to this view quickly just to see what our tourist doesn't seem too nonplussed. Let's start that burn and let's see if we can't circularise this orbit with the limited amount of fuel that we've got left. We're not going to be able to, which means I failed again, and I almost don't understand why. I'm almost struggling to figure out why it is that's happening. Okay, we'll start again. We're going to go back to the launch to see if we can't be a little bit more effective with our launch, just to get that altitude rather than the higher. Just, you know, I'm playing with this at the moment. I'm still figuring it out myself. Let's make sure these are all in the right place. I'm still learning whilst I'm trying to pretend to be able to teach you. Here's what it is, folks. I really hope you enjoy these videos because I'm having a lot of fun. In fact, this one's probably getting a little bit long, so we're going to end this one here with yet another failed attempt to get into orbit. This is ridiculous. We had this licked. We've done it a couple of times. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm starting to think maybe the boosters, but I mean, are they thrust limited at all? Well, I don't know, you can't tell from here. Yeah, we'll end this video here and the next one will start straight away. We'll just start again and give it another go. I've been BRG, thank you very much for watching and I shall see you all later.